strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bulldog here. I hope everybody is enjoying the chaos that is ensuing as SPS is pumping. We've got the Chaos pre-sale just around the corner. A lot of people are asking questions about that, but I'm still getting a ton of people asking questions about the expansion after that, about the land expansion. A lot of people coming to Discord wanting to know how to buy land, what land is it worth investing in? And I've covered it a little bit in different videos. I've had different sections, different sections on land, but I've never done a video exclusively on land, just going over everything we know, putting it all in one spot. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go over some of the most common questions, whether I think land is worth it, how to buy land, and just what it is itself. So first off, let's start with what land is. If you want to learn about land, you can actually go to the land section of the shop. So if you go right here, so if you click up on the shop icon and then click on land, you can kind of see some info. It shows that there's 0 plots left. It is all sold out. They sold 150,000 plots of land. Now, remember, we've got over 1 million people registered in the game now. There are not enough plots for everybody. This is a very scarce resource. There are no more coming. They are introducing land as a way to introduce a completely new game expansion. So there's not going to be any more land related to this expansion. They've said if more land comes in the future, it's going to be related to a different type of land expansion as a way to introduce that. That might still be on the table, but there's not going to be any more of this type of land. What is here is all that there is. It's a very scarce resource, which is why it is extremely valuable and why I actually think it might be the best long-term investment you could make in the game. We'll talk about that a little bit more. First, let's go into kind of what it is, because you can see there's plots, tracks, and regions here. They sold 150,000 plots. There are 100 plots to a track. There are 1,000 plots to a region. So that's kind of what you're looking at when you're looking at if you're looking at buying them, those types of things. But what land is going to do is it's going to bring a kind of a whole new expansion to the game. Right now, whenever you've got 3 minutes or however long it is to set your team. You set your lineup, you hit battle, that's it. You're done, you watch it play out. You've got the one active phase, and that is it. Land is going to introduce a second active phase with items and spells. Land is going to be how you get those items and spells. Items and spells are going to be a second phase. So both players submit your team, and then you're going to have another time limit with some more mana to then play items and spells to impact the battle. So you kind of see what you've got, what your opponent has, and then you can use items and spells to kind of try and impact the battle there. So it's adding some more strategy, adding a second layer, which is going to be super, super exciting, going to give the game a little bit more depth, and I cannot wait for it. So how do you get these items and spells? You cannot buy them from packs. You can only buy them from the secondary market or by crafting them using land. So each plot is going to be a little bit different. There are 14 different types of terrain that your plot can be. There are then 3 different categories that your land can be. And then there are 4, possibly 5 different rarities. So right now, all plots that are available now are kind of like packs. You don't know what you have inside. There's a bunch of different things you could have. You could also have castles or keeps. Each region has 1 castle and 9 keeps that are divided up among the 10 tracks. So those are very rare pieces. If you happen to have one of those are going to be worth a lot of money. We don't know exactly what they're going to do, but they're going to give pretty big bonuses. So if you come down here, actually to the bottom, you can click on Learn More. You click on that, that will take us over to this here, where you can read about the exact types of terrain, the exact types of categories, and all of that. I'm not going to go into that much detail because it doesn't necessarily matter at this point. The point is that you can use it to craft your items and spells. But there's going to kind of be natural resources that you can get from most pieces of land that you can use. You can harvest resources to get buildings to improve what you can grab from your land. There's going to be magical plots, which will allow you to get magical resources, which is one part of creating an item and a spell. Then there's going to be some that have wild monsters on them where you can extract their essences. That's going to be the second part to creating an item or a spell. So there's a bunch of different things going on. And unless you're just a whale and have a region or something, or have so many plots, you're going to have to buy a lot of stuff from the secondary market or rent certain land pieces that you need. You're not going to be able to get everything you need. There's so many different types of land, and you need so many different things and buildings. They're also going to be, they talk about totems down here. You can get totems to place on your land to help increase its efficiency, or they're going to do various things. We don't know exactly what they're going to do, but they're going to improve the efficiency of your land to some degree. And there's so much going on. And then whenever you mint an item or a spell, you don't know exactly what you're getting. Again, it's kind of like you're minting a pack, and then you open that up to see what you get. So it's going to be kind of a game within a game, just to get the items and spells that you want. So again, it's not like, okay, somebody who has a couple land plots is going to be able to farm everything they need. There are so many different types that you could possibly need, that if you're wanting to get everything, mostly you're going to have to go buy it from the secondary market. So those who have these lands are going to be able to farm these resources. They're going to be very valuable on the secondary market, which is why I am super bullish on the land, because there's just not going to be enough for everybody. Almost everybody, to some degree, is going to have to go get things from the secondary market, whether it's getting certain buildings you need, certain resources to build your buildings, certain parts to items or spells, or just going and getting the items and spells themselves. It's going to create a very valuable secondary market. And this is the one thing in the game that you can feel confident it's not going to be replaced. And that's why I feel like maybe this is the best long-term investment you can make in the game. I am super bullish on DEC and SPS, especially short-term right now with Chaos coming. And there's obviously a lot of cards that I like and renting cards, but the reality is, okay, if you go out and buy cards, your cards might be replaced by a better one in a future set. Maybe the game as the game changes, maybe those cards aren't worth as much. SPS is going to fluctuate up and down. The one thing that I cannot see losing its value is land. As long as this game is thriving, land is going to become more and more valuable. And it's going to be used. You can also just rent out your land if you don't want to worry about getting all these. Okay, what items do you need to go after? What buildings do you need to put on it? You can also just rent out your land as well. That's going to be an option, and just get a passive income that way. But because land is so scarce, it's never really going to lose its value, and it's extremely expensive right now. It's about $500 a plot, and it's not even here yet. Land prices have actually gone down a little bit as people have kind of sold off some things, trying to get SPS to get these vouchers. And again, I've talked about how short term I'm super bullish on everything that Chaos is bringing, but long term, I feel like land might be a better investment. Because the value is crazy, and it's not even here. We don't even know everything that it's going to bring. As we get to next year, it's still several months away. As the land starts to roll out, all of that stuff's going to spike. Land is going to be super valuable, and I think it's going to be a great investment. So, if you agree with me, how do you go buy land? There are basically two ways, two marketplaces where you can go buy land. The first one, which I actually don't prefer, but it is the easiest way. If you're not familiar, if you don't have other cryptocurrencies, if you're wanting to use like PayPal or some sort of fiat currency to immediately jump in and buy land, AtomicHub works very well because you're going to buy them with wax. So you can see here, like over on the left-hand side, we've got Splinterlands. Notice there's no E in the Splinterlands there because there's a character limit, so they had to shorten it a little bit there. But if you go to the AtomicHub, so the AtomicHub.io, or just Google AtomicHub, you'll find the wax marketplace here. You can go in and buy Splinterlands plots. You'll see the cheapest one right now is $517. you pay for it with wax. So you're still using, you're still basically using crypto to buy it, but wax is much easier to buy. You can go set up a wax wallet, which their website is not working right now, or I would show it to you, but it's pretty simple. Go Google wax wallet. You can buy directly with a credit card. You can buy wax directly with a credit card, use that wax to buy land. So it's very, very simple if you don't have these other cryptos or you're not wanting to convert back and forth, but you're going to pay a little bit more. There are a lot more, the sellers on here have a lot more fees than other places, so the prices are going to be a little bit higher. You can see $517 here. The place I prefer to buy is over on Hive Engine. So if we come over to Hive Engine, this is, so you can search for plot. You can also you can look for tract or region. Pretty much, those really aren't selling. Nobody's selling a region because the people that own a region know how valuable they're going to be. They're not getting rid of their regions. The similar degree to tracts. Tracts are very rarely selling because people who own I mean, again, a tract's 100 plots. If those are worth $50,000, $60,000 right now. Those people that have those aren't really selling. I mean, I'm included. I have one. I have no interest in selling it. The price of land could triple right now, and I'm not selling it because I believe it's going to bring so much passive income, and I'm more interested in that months down the line that I'm not selling them. But plots you can find out here to sell. And if we come down here, you can see buy or sell orders. So the cheapest one that you could just go buy directly is 560 Hive. I think that was the last sale price if we saw up here. Yeah, 560 Hive is $466. So you can see it's about 10% cheaper. It's about $50 cheaper over here on Hive Engine, which is why I recommend going here. But to come here, you have to get Hive. And now remember, Hive is on the same blockchain as Splinterlands. So it's good to kind of learn all this because pretty much any Splinterlands asset you can go directly in here and buy. But to get Hive, there are a bunch of different ways, and I'm not going to go over all the ways. You can go to your Hive a Hive wallet and click on buy and buy it that way. But you have to start with a different cryptocurrency. You can't just go buy Hive with PayPal or something like that, which is going to make it a little more complicated for people. But you can also, you can go up here and click on deposit, and you can deposit all sorts of different cryptocurrencies. You can use Doge, you can use Litecoin, Bitcoin. I usually use Litecoin because the fees are virtually non-existent with Litecoin, and that works very well. But you have to have a source to go buy Litecoin. I'm not going to go over all of that. I've talked about it in videos previously. You can go find other guides for that, but there are so many different ways and so many different combinations that you can use that I couldn't possibly go over all of them. But if you deposit that there, you can then go to Tribal Dex. Go to Tribal Dex here and click on Pools, and you can swap. So right now, we've got it set to swap.litecoin to swap.hive. So when you deposit it on Hive Engine, it turns into the swap form of the currency. So if you deposit Litecoin on Hive Engine, it turns to swap.ltc. You can switch that over to swap.hive. Like you bought 3 Litecoin, you could swap that, and you'll get 627 Hive, and then you can just immediately come over here and buy the plot that you want. So that's going to be one of the best ways to do that. Hive Engine is really where I recommend buying from because you're not going to pay any fees. There might be some fees as you're swapping currencies, but you're not going to pay any fees directly. And usually you're not going to pay as many fees swapping currencies as you would buying on AtomicHub. But AtomicHub is very popular because it's so simple. It's easy for people to use. So if you don't want to mess with everything and you just want to go buy it there, that's fine. Even paying $517 for it, I believe it's going to be worth way more than that down the line. And I don't think land prices are necessarily going to go up immediately because right now people are so focused on these chaos assets and depositing SPS in order to get vouchers and to be able to spend on chaos packs and all that. I think as soon as the chaos rush dies down, whether that's towards the end of the pre-sale, I don't know what's going to go on just past the pre-sale, land is going to be the next focus. So the next big focus. I mean, you're going to have some other things coming before land, but I think people are going to turn like, okay, once you do all your things with chaos, or people buy all their packs and resell them or do whatever they want, investors are going to turn to land, and I think that's when you're going to really see land spike. So it might still be 1 or 2 months before land really goes up in value, but I think that's going to be the next big thing. And then land is going to be a major part of the game for a long time probably. And land's also going to create some DEC sinks that will help the price of DEC increase. Land is going to be very, very valuable. It's going to be a huge addition to the game, and it's understandable that so many people are coming wanting to buy land because it is absolutely going to be huge. So hopefully that kind of answers some questions about what land is, what it's going to bring to the game, how you can go out and buy it. If you're still confused on things, you can leave comments here on the YouTube. Certainly feel free to leave comments, but the best way, if you have questions, the best way to get answers quick is to go join my Discord. The link is in the description. Go join my Discord server and just ask. And a lot of times it's actually not myself, it's other people that are there answering questions, but there's a lot of knowledgeable people there. They can help you. If you can't find any help, you can tag me, whatever. I unfortunately don't get to read every message in the Discord server just because it's so busy. But if you have to tag me, I don't mind, and we'll try to answer some questions. But land, I'm bullish on land. I am super, super bullish on land long term. Again, I think it's going to take a little bit before the price goes up. And that's why you're seeing some people sell it off right now, because they're kind of feeling the same thing that, yeah, I want land, but I think I can make money right now with SPS, with Chaos Legion, and then go back and rebuy that land. And we'll see. If everybody's got that plan, whoever switches back to buying land first is going to be the one that makes some of that profit there. So short term, I don't think you're going to see a huge rise in value in land, but long term, it might be the best investment in the game. So I hope you guys are able to go out and get yourself some land and earn some items or spells or be able to craft those. And I just can't wait. I'm so excited about this, because you've got the one game of farming land and getting the items, and then the other expansion of the game of having a new strategy layer for playing. And it's going to be interesting when you can now make decisions based on seeing your opponent's deck and seeing both things out there, and then having to decide, okay, how do I need to react to what they've done? How are they going to react? What items and spells are they going to play based on what they see that's out there, and try to counter that? It's going to add a whole new level of strategy, and I can't wait. So be sure to like, subscribe, all that stuff. You know there's going to be a lot more coverage of Splinterlands on this channel. Once it gets here, we'll have all sorts of video guides, and I just can't wait. If you can't tell, I'm super excited about pretty much everything in this game, but land is definitely one of them. You probably saw I had 3 tracks because I'm that excited about it. So I can't wait. I'll see you guys around.